Yeah, it's kind of hard to concentrate when you're looking at me like that. Draymond, how do you just kind of go through this day when you know there's Jonathan's not here and don't know when he's going to come in? You have some other guys coming in. Does it feel a little unsettled or does it feel okay?
I think, anytime I should take these off. Huh? I think anytime a teammate's not here, it sucks. And then obviously, not having multiple here due to the situation, it's unfortunate because I think, media day it marks the start of something. It marks the start of another NBA season. For me, this is my 14th one. Like, it never gets old. It's kind of that stamp of like, all right, it's about to get real, And so I think everyone deserves the opportunity to feel that, including him. Like, he'll look back on this and, I walk in and, you're like, yo, what media day is this for you? And you'll kind of always have that, that little asterisk in your mind of like, oh, man, I missed one, And so I think it sucks for all those guys involved. Like I said, including JK. Like, you don't get the opportunity to start your thing how you normally start your thing. And saying that, we all understand the situation. He's got to do what he's got to do for himself. This is a business, and that's where I think you have to always understand, like, it's unfortunate when the business side get in front of things, but nonetheless, it is a business, and you can't ignore that side of things. And so hopefully none of them miss too much time, and they'll be here pretty soon, hopefully including him. We want him here. But, yeah, I think for anyone involved, like, it doesn't feel good. Like, you want to get in your rhythm and get in your flow and kind of do your thing. And so I feel for all those guys involved, like, including JK.
How will this not be a distraction?
Well, I don't think anyone's winning a championship in the first few days of practice. It'll be a distraction. We won't have as many guys, and we'll be tired as hell going through practice. That'll be a distraction, and that'll suck because as a vet, you usually can kind of slide to the back like, yo, let them guys go and get a couple more reps. You don't kind of get that privilege. So that will suck. But as far as like it being a distraction, I don't expect this to go on too much longer. But like, you have injuries during the season. You must go on with the guys that you have. You have different situations. People have kids. People do this thing. That thing happens. Family members get sick. You get sick. Like, just different things happen throughout the season, and you must go on. It's no different right now.
Draymond, you obviously know Jonathan. You talk to him. Do you think he still wants to be here?
I think anyone should want to be in the franchise that they started in. And so do I think he still wants to be here? I do think he still wants to be here. And he said that to me, that he still wants to be here. When you're still with the franchise that drafted you, I don't care what has happened. You don't just throw that in the middle of the ring and say, hey, somebody else go take it, because you never get it back. Once you move on to the next franchise, I'm thankful. I'm going in year 14 with the same. I've never had to experience that, but I've seen people go through it. It's never the same. And I know this business. It will never be the same. So I know he still wants to be here. And I think anyone should still want to be with the franchise that drafted him if you can, because once you leave that place, it's just different.
Dre, if you make the all-defensive team this year, it'd be your 10th selection of your career. You'd be one of 6 players in league history to accomplish that feat. What would that milestone mean to you?
It means the world to me. That's my motivation, to go and try to make another all-defensive team and join that list. It's an amazing list. All first ballot Hall of Famers, and so to try to put myself in my name in the hat with those guys. Like, anytime you can put your name next to guys like that, you're talking Kobe, Tim, like K. There it is, double R. Like, those names, and I can put my little name next to that'd be a dream come true. So that is definitely a motivating factor for me this year for sure.
Dre, last year you guys went 23-7 and then 7-game series in the playoffs. Like in hindsight, how much of a grind was that, and how much did you feel it? And knowing you now got 82 with the team, is that a concern? Like maybe wearing you guys down too soon, or how do you preserve yourself for the playoffs?
I think, man, in all honesty, it was crazy. We were playing playoff basketball for 3.5 months, and that's tough to do. Plus the playoff basketball we played. That's just hard for anybody. I don't care if you're 37 or 27. You got to play playoff basketball that long. It's tough. And we had to. We had no other choice. We wanted to give ourselves an opportunity to win a championship. We did that. I think it caught up to us in the end. I don't worry. I'm actually happy to have an 82-game season and not a 35-game season, because now you could go about the season the right way. We don't dig ourselves that huge hole, and we're not playing playoff basketball for 3.5 months. And so this gives us an opportunity to not dig ourselves in a ditch and then try to fight and claw our way back out. And that's how you manage an 82-game schedule. You do what you got to do. You take care of business, and then you allow yourself to get through the season however it is that you need to get through the season. But when you got to play through injuries and, play through sickness and play through this thing and that thing, because every game matters in February, it's a lot to ask. Like I said, I don't care how old the team is. That's a lot to ask. And so we know that. Like I said, I think it definitely caught up to us at the end. But I worry very little about an 82-game season, because it gives us an opportunity to now have our team set and go about the season the right way, and give ourselves a grace and the cushion that you need in order to be successful in the end.
Steve said at exit interviews that he wanted you to play a little bit less center, maybe more power forward. For you, what is the difference on your body between playing center and playing power forward at this stage of your career? When
you're at center, you're involved in every single play, because you're anchoring the defense. You are the last line of everything. So there is no break. Like, you are at the forefront of everything, and that can be a lot at times. I'm never one that's going to turn the opportunity down, because if you turn the opportunity down, you maybe turn the opportunity at minutes down. And I still love to play this game and compete and help my team win. In an ideal world, I would love to play more 4. It's my natural position. That's how I became who I've become at that position. But nothing's changed about me at this point. I will always be willing to do whatever the team needs me to do, and whatever shoe that I need to wear, if it fits, I'm going to wear it. And so in an ideal world, yeah, I'll play more 4. Am I allowed to say theoretically having Al Horford can help with that. So yeah, it was it's tough, but playing in the NBA is tough, and living everyday life for a lot of people is tough. So I'll take my tough.
Draymond, how much have you, Steph, and Jimmy talked about the opportunity in front of you to play together from the start of a season, as opposed to, as you said, last year was kind of on the fly? And sort of related question to that is, what kind of tone Jimmy set with the mini camp, or whatever you want to call it, in San Diego?
I think, we're all looking forward to it. Just the opportunity to start the beginning, to have a training camp together. You can implement more things. You can build an identity from the beginning. defensive terminology and all the things that you build starting in training camp. We're able to do that this year. And so we're really looking forward to that opportunity. The mini camp in San Diego was great. Number one, just to be with the guys. Spend some time together. Jimmy was an incredible host. He has the wine cellar of an emperor. It's amazing. But he, and just setting the tone and getting everybody together and what it is that we're setting out to do, and that kind of marks the beginning of it, And so you can always look back to that experience of times get hard on the court, and you can look back to those times of like, man, when we were in San Diego and we were doing this and bonding like that, and you draw from those moments. So it was a huge moment for this team. We had a great time together. We accomplished what we needed to accomplish. Everybody got out healthy. So it was good, really good for us.
You said building the identity. How is that identity going to be different, do you think, this year than it was last year?
I think last year we were just kind of making it work, doing whatever we needed to do to make it work. This year, you get a chance to see what's best. And I think, I just think that'll take us much further than just finding one thing that works and like, all right, we're just going to do this. As opposed to you build towards that, you try things, they don't work, you move on from it. You may try this one thing and it's working, and you may try the next thing and like, oh, that works too. Like now we got two things that work, And so I don't know that I do think the identity will be different than last year, because I think every team's identity change year to year. It's never really the same. But like I said, I think we just got a chance to build and grow that, as opposed to doing whatever we need to do from the start to like win, like, and can't try anything because you don't have the room to try.
Draymond, veterans always say that as you get to your mid-30s in the NBA, you realize your body ain't the same as it was when you were 22 or whatever, so you make up for it mentally and in other ways. I'm wondering what you've been through physically in your career, how you make up for maybe what your body can't do now that you could do when you were 22. How do you balance that?
I think, ironically, at 22, there were some things that my body couldn't do that I can do now, because it's just all the work you put in and the things that you learn and the strengthening that you do, And so, I think there's a little give and take there. But, I'm always confident that I can win mentally, and that's what you rely more on. And when you realize, oh, man, I can't quite do that thing. But if I'm honest with you, Monty, I don't think I've reached a point to where my body can't do it. Like, I haven't quite had that moment where it's like, my eyes were bigger than my heart or my goals or my legs. Like, I saw it and couldn't quite get there. I haven't really experienced that yet. So I'm gonna knock on some wood right now and hope that it don't come this year. But I feel great. Am I the same person that I was at 27? No, and thank God I'm not. I've learned a lot since 27. So, there's things that change, but, you decrease in one area, you got to grow in another. And I think that's always the constant challenge. And the challenge is what keeps you going and keep you striving to do it again and again and again.
I know you said, Jonathan has voiced to you that he wants to be back, but obviously some of the boiling points of these negotiations have, been on trades. Them seeking signing trades, y'all trying to sign him to contracts that seem pretty obvious to potentially use him as a trade piece. How do you view his future here and what he can still be within this franchise, especially knowing, what some of this business that has been going on?
We play in a game that is covered by media 24/7, and when you're in something that's covered 24/7, A, it's not always accurate, and B, it doesn't always play out even the way people think it's going to play out. And so what can he still be here? Exactly what he set out to be here, because I know for certain he has the full support of his teammates to be that. And I don't think this franchise or organization would still be doing what they're trying to do if they didn't believe that, And so I saw Kevon Looney fourth-year option get declined, and he spent 10 years here. So, contract negotiations are never pretty. My first contract negotiation, I thought I was about to get a contract, and they told me no, and I had to reach out to another team. And then they showed interest and got the contract done. 2 years ago, I thought it was over. I thought I was out of here. Here I am going into year 14. So, just because the contract negotiation didn't go beautifully does not mean it's the end of the road. And a contract negotiation that went beautifully don't mean it's the beginning. It could be the end. So I take every day for what it's worth in this league. That's what I try to tell my young guys. That's my message to Jonathan. A contract negotiation is a contract negotiation for a reason. It's one side trying to get the better of the other side. And when you're trying to do that, just like in a basketball game, tempers flare, things get heated. Sometimes people get kicked out of the room. Sometimes people walk back in the room. That's just how it goes. And so this isn't the first contract negotiation that's went longer than everybody expected and that went different than the team wanted it to go or much different than the player wanted to go. It ain't the first one, and it's by far the last one. We will see this over and over again in this league because ultimately it's a business and you're trying to put your business in the best position to be successful. And we are individuals that when you go to the negotiation table, you don't go to the negotiation table with the team. You go to the negotiation table with your team, by yourself. Meaning you got to try to do what's best for you. And that's what Jonathan is doing, and that's what he deserves to do. You work your tail off to get to the NBA. You earn the right to go negotiate. If he didn't earn the right to go negotiate, they still wouldn't be negotiating with him. And he wouldn't be negotiating with them. So these things happen. You move on from them. He signed a contract, come out and play great. Everybody will forget and move on. That's the world we live in. So, yeah, that's kind of my take on it.
Where do Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler rank among the NBA's elite? As the new NBA season kicks off, two of the league's most respected veterans, Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler, are once again making headlines. And for good reason. For the past decade, the Golden State Warriors have been synonymous with championship contention. But with only one NBA Finals appearance in the last 6 years, some have started to question whether it's time to temper expectations. Then again, when you have Steph Curry leading your team, it's hard not to aim high. Golden State is clearly doing everything it can to maximize the twilight years of Curry's legendary career. At last season's trade deadline, the Warriors made a bold move, acquiring six-time All-Star Jimmy Butler. The results? Immediate impact. The duo clicked right away, helping the team to a 22-5 regular season record together, and showing that this new partnership could be something special. Still among the league's best. Even in their mid to late 30s, Curry and Butler are proving that age is just a number. In ESPN's Top 100 NBA Players ranking for the 2025-26 season, both stars earned well-deserved spots among the top 20. Curry, now 37, was ranked No. 7 overall, down just one spot from last year. He continues to be one of the most dominant and impactful players in the game, averaging 24.5 points, 4.4 rebounds, and 6.0 assists per game last season. And his value to the Warriors? Undeniable. Golden State outscored opponents by 299 points when Curry was on the floor, the best mark on the team. When he sat, they were outscored by 28, wrote ESPN's Anthony Slater. Curry isn't just playing well, he's still the engine that drives the entire Warriors machine. Butler, now 36, came in at No. 18 on ESPN's list. After a rocky exit from Miami, he seems to have found new life, and the perfect fit, in Golden State. In his 30 regular season games with the Warriors, Butler averaged 17.9 points, 5.5 rebounds, 5.9 assists, and 1.7 steals per game. More importantly, he helped the team flip the script. Golden State was 25-26 before Butler arrived. They finished the season 23-8, then upset the No. 2 seed Rockets in the first round, Slater added. Now with a full offseason to gel, Butler is expected to be even more comfortable and dangerous, heading into his first full season as a Warrior. The outlook for 2025-26. There are plenty of question marks around Golden State heading into this season, roster depth, coaching adjustments, and long-term direction among them. But what the Warriors do have is one of the most battle-tested and dynamic duos in the NBA. With Curry and Butler leading the way, this team has every reason to believe it can make another deep playoff run. The chemistry is there. The leadership is there. The talent is undeniably still there. And if last season was any indication, the best may be yet to come. Continuing the momentum. With the Warriors heading into the 2025-26 season, much of the league's attention is centered on how far Curry and Butler can take this retooled squad. Internally, Golden State appears confident. The front office, under pressure to capitalize on the remaining prime years of its core, is reportedly exploring final roster moves to bolster the bench and add more shooting around its stars. One key storyline is how Butler's leadership and defensive intensity have reshaped the team culture. After a few seasons of inconsistency and locker room concerns, especially following Draymond Green's decline and Klay Thompson's exit, Butler's arrival brought a new edge to the team. Coaches and players have pointed out that Butler's presence has made practices more competitive and expectations more focused. Jimmy came in and immediately raised the standard, one assistant coach said, according to internal team sources. He holds everyone accountable, including Steph, and that's saying something. Curry, for his part, has welcomed the challenge. After years of carrying the offensive load, he's found new energy in playing alongside a teammate who can create his own shot, facilitate offense, and take on tough defensive assignments. This shared responsibility has not only extended Curry's effectiveness, but also opened up the floor for the team's younger players. What the numbers say. Statistically, the Curry-Butler pairing produced one of the best net ratings among starting duos in the league last season, posting a plus 12.4 net rating when on the court together. Their offensive synergy was particularly evident in clutch moments. The Warriors were 14-2 in games decided by 5 points or less after the trade. Defensively, Butler's impact has been measurable. Opposing teams shot just 42.1% from the field when he was the primary defender, the lowest mark on the team. His ability to guard multiple positions also gave head coach Steve Kerr more lineup flexibility, often allowing for smaller, faster rotations without sacrificing physicality. Reactions around the league. Across the league, reactions to the Warriors' resurgence have been mixed. Some analysts believe the Curry-Butler pairing may have arrived too late in their careers to mount a serious title run, citing age and durability concerns, particularly given Butler's recent history of knee issues. Others, however, argue that their experience and playoff pedigree could be exactly what Golden State needs to navigate a Western Conference loaded with young, athletic teams like the Thunder, Spurs, and Timberwolves. Former players have also weighed in. On a recent podcast, retired NBA champion Andre Iguodala called the Curry-Butler combo the most professional, no-nonsense duo in the league, adding that they don't waste possessions or time. Looking ahead. The road ahead won't be easy. The Western Conference remains deep, and questions linger about the Warriors' supporting cast. Jonathan Kuminga is expected to take a bigger leap this season, and the team is still waiting on consistent production from Moses Moody and Kevin Looney. But as long as Curry and Butler remain healthy and aligned, Golden State has a fighting chance, and perhaps more than that. Their on-court chemistry, combined with a renewed defensive identity and veteran focus, makes them a serious threat, even if they're flying slightly under the radar compared to flashier contenders. This season may not be about returning to dynasty form, but it very well could be about redefining what winning looks like in the final chapters of two storied careers.